More farming dairy talk, question mark.
Oh yeah, I had, well, of course I was at the egg show with the bale of hay there, talking to customers, some guys that listen to the show that are farmers, and they felt like there should be more farming content. And I said, have you looked at Kyle? Like, does he look like a farmer?
I remember,
you talk about what you're passionate about. You do not care about farming.
I remember I worked for Bob Matzik when I was in grade 12. So I biked to,
so you have milked cows.
Yeah. So I'd bike to, and I worked for Neil Stam.
Those poor cows.
As well. Oh, I had no patience. I would bike at 3:00 in the morning. I would bike all the way to Gibson Road and bought milk for Bob Matzik. I'd bike home, get home like 7, go to school. And then that summer after I graduated, I was working for him full time. And then when I quit, he's like, yeah, you didn't really seem like the farming type.
You're not a cow guy.
He's like, because he'd be like, can you wait for 5 or 10 minutes after you're done milking and see like who's in heat and stuff? And like stand there for like a 1 minute. I'd be like, I'm done.
No,
like,
these cows, nothing's going on here.
Nothing's going on. So
yeah. I always think, I wonder if it's a train thing with cows. Because some people are just cow people, like some farmers. Like I know most farmers pretty well, and you can kind of just even go to a dairy and see, like, hey, is there a cow person on this farm? What are the cows happy? Are they comfortable? How well are they being looked after? And it's like, but for me, I would say because I did not grow up on a farm. My dad never touched a tractor or cow in his life. And it's like I feel like I've become something like not a guru, like not like my brother-in-law, not like guys that are phenomenal with cows for sure, but like I can take one walk through my barn and know which cows are not eating or which are not doing well or which cows are in heat or whatever, right? And it's like,
different when it's your own as well.
Yeah, and when you're young, it's care, and it is partially personality where you just have to have that patience. That's why I don't think I am as good as some guys that are just very slowly going through the barn. I feel like, man, I'm always thinking about something else, and you really got to be paying attention, right? Yeah. So I do intentionally try to walk through my barn, especially now because my main guy's not there, so I try to spend a little more time there. But
you find someone else yet?
No, because it's going pretty well with the 2 Filipinos. They're doing a great job, and it's such a weird role where it's like our phones are Pavlov dog here. It's just pinging. It's driving me bonkers between the.
What Gary's saying is that our phone's in their lockbox right now and they're vibrating and
it's
binging.
Making it worse than if we just had them on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, we should get them out of here.
It's Kyle's. It's not mine. I put mine on Do Not Disturb actually now that I think about it. But I think that people that listen to the podcast, there's quite a few farmers that listen to it. So we'll have to start a farming segment and you'll have to. I thought even the other day I was trying to explain.
Segments, Gary. Free flowing, okay? I don't want to do segments.
Talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Beat him with his own crudgel. I thought even of doing like, it wouldn't work on the podcast, but like I love talking about like supply management, partially because it gets like
people riled up.
It gets people riled up. And some people are just fascinated by it. Like it's a bizarre thing. Like sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I totally forgot that I wanted to answer the question today. I went for a run a couple weeks ago and I wore my Make Canada Great Again hat that I got made in New York City. Oh. So I was going to see if we could answer today the question, if you were Prime Minister, how would you make Canada great again? But we'll do that next week.
Okay. Quota is the license for those that are from America. They probably heard of it maybe, but it's basically the license in chickens and dairy in Canada. Dairy is the only one that gets in trouble. It's total BS. They never come after the chicken guys. It's always after the dairy cartel, right? Yeah. The Quebec dairy cartel. And I follow guys on Twitter that are like, total free market guys. They can't stand quota supply management, but it's interesting to me because I think I would love to even just do a class on it, like outside of the podcast, but just do like a night where I'm like, I'll explain dairy quota in British Columbia, how it works, how much money it costs. It'll get people riled up. There was somebody in the past that said, democracy is, the best of the worst systems of, politically, right? And quota is, I look at supply management a little bit like that, especially in our country. Like I think the further in more populated areas, I think you have less of a.
If it would have been free market from the existence of Canada's inception, what would be different?
What would be different? There would be there's already way less farms all the time, but there would be very few dairy farms, very few. Okay. And I think people don't like so what happens is especially in something with animals, large amount of animals, it's inevitable anyways. It is going to happen. Even with quota, there will just be less and less farms as time carries on. But people have a problem. Some people have a problem with, let's just say in BC, there was 10 farms instead of 300 or 400 dairies. Like, first of all, if one of those farms has a barn fire and all the cows, like that's a problem.
Yeah.
If one of them gets a sickness or disease, that's a problem. So like there's benefits of just having a few more. And I think the idea of corporate farming and how animals are cared for, people like the idea of family farms, right? And now, of course, as that changes, in Canada in particular, it's still very much the family farm. Like,
so if it wouldn't have been there from the beginning, you would have way less farms.
Way less farms.
And would the price of milk be different?
No, it would not be. And that's the part where I'm a free market guy, but I will guarantee you, if we ever do away with quota, milk may initially drop a tiny bit, but it will not get any cheaper.
Okay, so where is that money?
I would almost argue it would go up.
Then?
Now?
Yeah.
Processors are always going to make margin. And like, other than the price of quota, that's the only piece really, especially now, because in years past, dairy farms weren't efficient. And proportionally, we got way more margin. Like even when I started in 2011 milking cows, we got way more margin. Like way more. Like we're down probably 12, 13% gross margin at least from when I started.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference. Like it's way tougher farming now. And I don't think that's going to change. I think it's only going to get tighter, and people that are inefficient or people that are too over leveraged will get flushed out. That's just the way it's going to be. And I think that in the US, what they're having now is that they have quota like we do almost everywhere. Like at least on the west side of the country, the states that I know of, like Idaho, Washington, Oregon, they all ship to Dairy Gold, most of the producers. And the co-op, which is Dairy Gold, they have it's called base, and they're only allowed to ship so much milk. Okay. And it had a value. Like it has no value right now because they have serious issues with their processor and a whole bunch. I could go on a long rabbit trail about that too, but they have cost overruns on a new plant they're building. So they're just, you can ship as much milk as you want. Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is like, people always grab one side of it and think, and there again, I would agree, like the price of quota is an issue, but there's no way to.
And the price, and when the quota got made or invented or whatever it was,
it had very little value.
Had no value.
Very little. Very little.
They should have capped it then, the value of it.
They try to cap it now. It's funny. We capped it and we put our province put a soft cap on the price of quota because it looks very poor to the consumer when the price of quota is really high. Nobody wants to hear, oh, it costs $40,000 or $50,000 a cow for the license to produce the milk. Because anybody with half a brain says, hey, that means my milk is costing too much. Like, you know, that's just, so that's the downside, right? But ultimately, you know, I always use the argument in New York City, you had to buy a taxi cab license for $1 million. Like nobody, like, I guess Uber came along and destroyed the whole model, but it was just the idea of like, hey, there's other areas, fishing, there's all kinds of things in BC that are controlled and regulated, right? So. Okay. I'm cowed out. Too much farm talk. Just the tip of the iceberg, Kyle. We're going to start talking about the next segment. We'll talk about HPIA. It's I think I said it wrong, but the bird flu. It's coming. Okay. Have you heard about it in California, wiping cows out? No, I see avian bird flu and call birds on my notes here. Yes. Yeah, we'll talk about it next time. Okay, we're going to wrap to 2 reels. Oh, we're still going. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.